What does that have to do with manga? Oh.
I talked about some armor, and I just don't have the coin for it right now. But we sort of left it off that. I think Afra was going to go get her orca puppy thing. Pietro was going to do an 80s homage with the alligators, and I think everyone else was undecided as far as what they were doing.
All right, yeah, that kind of sums it up. A whole lot of bookkeeping and uh, sort of role playing and figuring out what you're going to do next. All right. Also, you guys were hired to show a certain Triton of the ropes of
Oh yeah,
Saltmarsh and of the land and all that jazz.
that was courtesy of our keep. Yeah, he paid us all and like 50 gold pieces of around our cop on the edge.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. So go ahead and take the inspiration. Now,
Okay.
let's see. I believe the weather and the repairs in the ship are sort of influencing decisions here. So, if I'm not wrong, it was 10 a.m. 28th day of chess. It was raining, um, light drizzle. Tomorrow's supposed to be clear skies with strong winds. and they're anticipating having the ship ready by tomorrow. So setting out first thing tomorrow with your freshly repaired ship. I do have a couple of questions about the ship. Um, have you decided on a name, or is it going to just be named the Seacoast, or is you going to let Prime Water name the ship? What is the name of the ship going?
Janelle's box. Janelle's box.
Inappropriate.
It's also not really a cargo ship, so I'm not really sure where that's headed, you know? So,
It is cargo hold.
Oh,
yeah.
you don't.
All right, so any suggestions? Otherwise, they will, it's one of those things like at the hospital, if you don't name your baby within 5 minutes, they just give the baby a name. I know this, I have children. So, I didn't want one of them to be named Oreo, but that's what happened. So,
Hey, moment.
The name of the what people wanted
How
the
about
other one.
We talked a little bit about maybe Storm Chaser or Eye of the Storm or something to that effect.
I like Storm Chaser. That's fun.
Because
Storm
that'll play into the crew's superstition with one of our key members having been by the goddess and survived that.
okay.
pirate ship name generators are ridiculous. Like, I've got the horrible skull of the seven seas here.
Hey, that sounds good too.
That's a mouthful. It's a little bit of a mouthful.
Storm Chaser is fine.
Extensive damage there. Okay. And they removed all the poisonous snakes from the ship. Okay, so any business that you need to take care of in town, this is the time to do so. I know that Afra, you and who else was going to retrieve Willie from the house?
Who wanted to go with me?
I had my appointment with the alligator people.
Do anything?
I think I was one with you.
Okay, Albus is going to go with you. All right. Did you guys want to take the new 500 gold piece jolly boat out and find them that way, or did you want to walk all the way there and all the way back? Keeping in mind that I believe it's, gosh, what, like 4 hours outside time? Like 6 hours outside time? Something like that. It's a bit of a walk.
Oh.
I know we can ride it back.
Definitely chew up your whole day.
I guess we can take the jolly boat. Elvis has skills to
Okay.
that.
Yeah, it only requires one person, so having a second person to help out shouldn't be a problem. So in the light drizzle of cold, coldish rain, that kind of just clings to you afterwards because of the humidity. You guys head out, avoiding fog banks and sharp rocks, as it were, sword toe style, and that is going to eat up most of the probably the rest of your day. Because a couple hours over there in the boat, find him, a couple hours back. Anyone else have any other business they need to take care of in Saltmarsh?
Yeah, I was trying to make another pistol.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, you said you hoisted yourself away and you were working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So did you do the roll for that last week? I could have sworn you did.
Yeah, but I don't see it. I don't remember what it was.
Okay. Go ahead and do a fresh one then.
It's just theoreticals, right?
Well, you're building stuff. So do your tool proficiency plus intelligence. Because firearms are relatively simple and very simple to use, but you're still in the early stages of this thing, so you are gonna be tapping into your brain power for that.
It wouldn't be with an advantage though because I have the book of all the notes and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely invested in your tool.
So that'll be a 20.
Okay, nice. Yeah. You continue to work on it, and anyone trying to make potions, I believe, according to Xanthar's, can break the rules of construction because they could build one potion in one day. Is kind of where Xanthar's was at because potions were so useful. Given that a potion's material cost to build is 25 gold, a pistol, I believe, the value of it's about 25 gold or so. So yeah, you can build a pistol in a day.
Dope.
Yeah.
Garuda, what is your arsenal, my friend?
Right now,
Yeah.
I have a musket, two of the gunslinger pistols, and about 7 ASPs, a short bow, a long bow, and that's it.
Rocket launcher, more.
Not yet, not yet. Sooner or later, though. Sooner or later.
Dragon better watch out.
Soon, though,
All
soon.
right. So, you're training with lizard folk. Jenna, are you up to anything today? I think you said you're scribing book or spells, yeah?
Yeah, I just that one spell from Albus to comprehend languages, and then making sure nothing goes wrong with the lizard folk, and
I'm on
watching
my
over
best
the crew.
behavior.
Let me see. Nothing going wrong with the lizard folk. Okay, well, yeah.
Keeping them out of making sure they're not
Pietro's
getting in
hanging out
trouble.
with them. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Then yeah, she's just looking after the crew and
All right.
reading
So
books and stuff.
I have here that you wanted to hire skilled laborers, and I think did I post up the cost for you? 'Cause, I had a cost sheet. So 500 GP for the jolly boat.
I don't think
Then there's the cost of the ship repairs, which are handled separately. Let's see. Riggers are going to be 2 gold a day since you're hiring skilled riggers. Um, so at 2 gold a day, that'd be 60 gold a month. If you're hiring 6 riggers, that'll be 360 gold a month. Your swabs, gold a day, 30 gold a day, 6 swabs, 180 a month. You're hiring a physician slash vet slash medic. They're coming in at 10 GP a day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's 300 a month. Cook, since you wanted a skilled cook, the cook is looking for 5 gold pieces a day at 150 gold a month. And then a skilled bard costs you 5 gold pieces a day, 150 gold a day, including the cost of the jolly boat, not including the repairs on the ship, and paying everyone their first month's pay up front as like a signing bonus. That would be 1,640 gold, and your share of the smuggled goods was 1,500 gold. So that still puts you 140 in the hole to your patron, not including, well, that will include the ship repairs.
okay.
But you have a very good crew now.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Crew's gotta get paid.
Yeah, I could give up 150 go for it. Just to make a difference.
All right. So, okay, you want to go ahead and take care of that now, so it's not an outstanding amount.
Yeah. Take it out of Garuda's pay. We've given him too much already.
Low.
And then the, I believe the repairs came in. It was some pretty extensive damage, but it's still a board game at its core, so it was based on hit point damage. I think the repairs came in at 240 gold.
I'm sorry, what was that?
240 gold for the repairs.
Alright, yep. It's fine.
All right. You guys want to leave that amount hanging, or do you want to just go ahead and pay that as well?
No, I'll just pay that. I took it out of my own character sheet.
All right. In that case, you guys have no outstanding debt with your patron. You have a ship that's fully crewed. You took care of your business in town, and I guess now it is time to get out there on, well, you know, rest of town that night, and then in the morning you will head out into the wild blue yonder, as it were. It's more kind of a bluish green, I guess, in the Sword Coast. There's a lot of weird plant growth in the ocean, but yeah. All right, cool. If everybody's okay with it, we will fast forward to the next day. Everybody good? Okay. All right. So, how early do you want to leave? And what is your plan? Are you going to sail out and then back in, or are you going to hug the coastline?
I have no piloting skills, so I will keep my mouth shut on that score.
We're gonna sail out and back in, avoiding the rocky shore.
All right. So let's see. The rain is done.
So like I said, I'm not, obviously I'm new, but like I said, I can sail twice as fast as a normal person.
Sweet. And that's from the mariner background?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Well, that would definitely save you guys a hell amount of time. And it's really not too far of a trip to Dunwater. So the marshes north of Saltmarsh were named by the settlers of the region the Lizard Marshes because Ed Greenwood, the creator of Forgotten Realms, he had a Jupiter-sized planet that he had to come up with shit for. And I guess when he got to this particular part of the world, he was just tapped out. They didn't have random name generators yet. This was like 45 years ago. So he was like, lizards live in this swamp. It's the Lizard Marshes. That being said, the northern end of the Lizard Marshes is known as Dunwater, and the southern part of the marshes is known as Saltmarsh. Very much like a town in one of those old-timey, high school gang movies. Like the lizard folk live in Dunwater, and the softskins live in Saltmarsh. And you respect each other's territory, or they will eat you, or they will kill you and turn you into boots. You get the idea. So, very long time, this peace has been going on of like, that whole thing. All right. So sailing extra fast with your exceptional new crew, you are going to head up using the incredibly strong wind to your advantage. You can make this trip so quickly, it's like barely even worth mentioning. I think you're going 50 miles at the most. Yeah, looks like 50 miles. So God, in your nice speedy little ship, which I believe I have stats that I posted for your ship. Do you guys have access to those stats yet? Or did I not port them over to your document? I might not have ported them over to your document yet. Okay, so let me tell you about your ship a little bit. The Sea Ghost, which is now going to be called the Storm Chaser. Let me change that real quick. All right, Storm Chaser. Is that all one word, Storm Chaser?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Do you camel case the sea or to be cool or no?
Sure.
Okay.
There's lightning bolts in it.
Oh,
we can fit them.
So the T is like a Harry
Yeah,
Potter T.
yeah.
Is this Harry Potter font? Just tell me the truth. Do I need to go get some Harry Potter fonts for this?
font is good.
Yeah,
with
you
me.
do.
I don't know
Okay.
how everyone else feels about it.
All right, Harry Potter font it is.
Harry Potter's cool.
Okay, cool. 20 does not want to play any music today. I love it.
We heard something.
Did it? Let's see if I can get anything to play. No, nothing.
Right now.
Okay, you can hear it.
Very ominous. I was like, oh crap.
Oh, weird. Okay. So while my Roll20 is reloading, let's talk about the ship. Storm Chaser is a sloop. It is a size category of 1, because it's it's not that big. It has a max combat speed of 70 feet. So in totally zoomed in as close as you could get ship to ship combat, if the ship was moving, it would be moving at a speed of about 70 feet, which you guys saw when you guys were in the battle in the Kraken's Teeth. It has an armor class of 15, which I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of easy to hit a ship. It's very big. It has 200 hit points, which can be a little scary. It has a damage threshold, though, of 10. Damage threshold is something that doesn't come up in 5th edition very often. Basically, any attack that hits the ship has to do at least 10 points of damage, or it does no damage. The ship can ram things, and its base damage for ramming things is 3d8 plus its strength bonus. Because your ship has a strength score, because Dungeons and Dragons. The ship currently has 2 upgrades. They are both hidden compartments. You are aware of both of those hidden compartments. Its travel speed is a massive 7 miles per hour. Historically, during the golden age of pirates, there was, I think, 1 ship that was this fast. So this is sort of like the Millennium Falcon of sloops. It's a very fast ship. It can hold a crew of 20, or sorry, it requires a crew of 20, but it can hold up to 30 people, quote unquote, comfortably. I don't think it would be very comfortable, but then again, I don't think I could have been a sailor without going a little stir crazy.
That's not that bad.
Yeah.
Comfort's relative.
Yeah. So the hammock situation, you're probably looking at like a double layered hammocks in the crew quarters. It can hold 50 tons of cargo, and if for whatever reason you decided to sell this bad boy, its market value is 10,000 gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Plus a 500 gold sloop.
Yeah. Plus it has
Or
a 500.
jolly boat.
Yeah, it has a 500 gold sloop just strapped to the top. Ballistas, it has 4. Ballistas have armor class 15, 50 hit points apiece. They fire big old heavy bolts. Before it can be fired, it must be loaded and aimed. It takes 1 action to load the weapon, 1 action to aim the weapon, and 1 action to fire the weapon. Hence the reason that it took multiple crew members to get that thing up and going to fire at Garuda during the big fight before. They fire bolts. The bolts are if you have your basic bitch crew using it, they are +6 to their attack rolls, 120 range / 480 range, and they hit for a 3d10 points of damage. So they ain't no cannons, that's for sure. So that might be something you want to consider upgrading at some point.
A quick question with
yeah.
firing the ballistas. If 3 crew member,
Right, if there's 3 people assigned to a ballista, that'd be a ballista team.
Okay.
They can fire once per round. Yep.
Okay.
Now the stat, if you decide to do it yourself, it is a martial weapon that keys off of, get ready for this, the intelligence stat.
Oh boy, get me off.
Ooh.
That is because the complexity of the device and the trajectory and wind and movement of both the target and the thing you're on, it is way more thinking and less dexterity. So I thought that was kind of cool, actually, that siege weapons keyed off of intelligence instead of dexterity. Because enough stuff goes off of dexterity, Mike Merles. Enough stuff goes off of dexterity.
Did you need proficiency in martial weapons?
It is a martial weapon, yeah. Now, there is a feat for, I think, in our campaign, specifically for siege weapons. But yeah, it goes off of martial weapons.
Jenna
Uh,
probably wouldn't use one anyways.
all right. So, I mean, you could use it without it and just use your intelligence bonus, but it uses proficiency, so that'd be kind of nice. All right, cool. So, what is the name of your, if you even want to name it, of your jolly boat?
Eye of the Storm.
What is it? What is it? Etherstorm?
Eye of the Storm.
Eye of the Storm. Okay, because he lives in the
Although
middle
Scarlet,
of the
although Apper
No.
doesn't like it.
It needs to be short. It's a tiny boat.
Oh,
And Eye of the Storm and
Fine,
I like
Zephyr.
it. That's fine.
Zephyr. Okay, that's let's see, Zeph.
ERY.
Yeah.
All right. The moon group named theirs Jenny the Jolly Boat. So everybody in moon group rides on Jenny. So
Oh,
awkward.
what a rock
Yeah.
said I
How do you
got.
feel about that, Captain?
Yeah. They have no idea who you guys are though. I think Jenny is just a common name. So
Pretty sure we could take him. We could
Wait,
kill
no,
him.
it's a Forrest Gump reference.
oh yeah, probably everybody took a ride on that Jenny too. So all right.
Well,
So your jolly ship, not nearly as cool. Has a 25-foot max speed, has an armor class of 9, only has 40 hit points, a damage threshold of 5. You could ram something for 1d8. Keep in mind that when you ram something, you deal damage, equal damage to yourself during the ramming process.
Yes, but we can board it.
Correct, yeah. Travel speed is a whopping 3 miles per hour. So yeah, it took you all flipping day to go get your little buddy. I'm sure you probably rigged something up where he towed your ship back to land since he's significantly faster than your ship.
That is one strong Willie.
Yeah, and it can hold up to 8 people if you're willing to squeeze everybody. Ideally, 5 to 7 in your jolly ship, and it only requires 1 person to crew it. 3 people is optimal because it does have oars and a rudder and a sail. So it ain't no rowboat. It is a very nice ship. There is a legend on the Sword Coast of Jenna the Generous giving a jolly boat to some excommunicated crew members as a parting gift. And tales of this generosity are spreading like wildfire down the Sword Coast.
Oh dear.
All right. Good. Now we know about the ship. I'll be honest. I just need it's beautiful weather, it's beautiful wind. Whoever wants to make a piloting check, you have advantage, and it's a very low DC.
don't we get to meet the new crew?
Oh, you want to meet your new crew?
Yeah. We're paying them.
Okay, every single one of them. Okay. Hold on just a second. Let's see.
And
Very
if
good at
and
investigating.
I'd like Afra to meet them all as well and tell me what she thinks.
Oh, I see. I see what's going on here. Okay, let me bring up the roster. Now I only received 2 pieces of art for requested crew member art, so I'll be going from my own database of stuff there.
That's all right. I've seen your pirate members; they're pretty good.
Yeah, good old Bob Kell, making
So
sure
I
the
would
pirates
like-
look great.
I would like to ask that the one Petro posted, we don't have that guy.
Which one, the Scotsman or the emaciated gnome?
So emaciated.
Oh, okay.
That was more of a gag. I was like, oh, he's got an eye patch. let's
don't-
bring him on board just to troll all this.
All right. Let's see. Crew database.
So Elvis has quite pissed it off, so that's not a bad idea. You just got to run it by her.
All right. Let's see. Here we go. There's the crew database. Oh, this lack of music is killing me. Please.
Well, it was there for a second.
Yeah. All right. Fine. I'll play whatever music you want me to play. Yeah, I'm looking into other stuff. We use a Discord plugin for our Monday games, and I kind of like it, but I feel like there might be something better out there. I'm still looking for. I don't know. I just want to recreate what we used to have, where we could just steal any music we wanted anytime we wanted, and we just play it right in Roll20. Anyways, okay. So crew database. Let's see. Alrighty. So first up is Cecil Toxic Savant. She's a Yuan-Ti, and they know that might be a little rough because you're just getting rid of a Yuan-Ti. But she's eager, for work. She is from Chult. Again, I don't know if it's going to be problematic or not. But she is a rigger, and let's see, what would Afra learn about her? Okay. She openly worships Soon, the goddess of beauty, love, and passion.
Oh,
She's
that's nice.
she's a bit of a pacifist, though. And she is greedy, and she hates practical jokes.
What was her last name again? Cecil Toxic. What?
Cecil Toxic Savant.
Savant?
Savant, yeah.
Well, Jenna's not racist. She doesn't care that it's a Yuan-Ti.
Okay, so this is her. There you go. All right. Then you've got. I guess I should post up the names for you too. Okay. Then you've got Siebert, which is a cute name. Chains Sweat, which is just a great name. And he is a
How would
fire.
these parents?
He is a fire genasi, which is kind of cool, I guess.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Interesting profession choice. Be around water.
Yeah, well, genasi, generally they have a bad time of it in Forgotten Realms, because most of them come from the Kalisham region, and the genies sort of had like you guys are our slaves, we're the boss situation going on down there, until there was an uprising. And so it's very much like people don't take kindly to who they view as their descendants, which would be the Genasi. So that is him right there. He is also a rigger. He is very strong. He is lovable, overindulgent, aggressive, and has a tendency to form strong bonds very quickly. All right. Let's see. Okay. Then you've got what do we got here? Hutton de Bloom Crompton. Hey man,
Where does this name generator got?
these are great names. All right, let's see. This guy is a half orc. This is your bard.
An
Right
interesting.
Yeah, and he is the only thing you really pick up about him is that he has a gambling problem.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And a murder problem?
Well, he's a half orc. It's nothing to him to just be like, I've got blood on my fingers. Okay, I'm gonna strum my loot.
Yeah, he's he. Other than that, he kind of plays up. He's actually half elf, half orc. And he definitely plays up the he tries to play up his elven nature more than his orc nature. So you're kind of looking at like the picture, like a more green skinned half orc. But he does have them little tusks in there, and according to people, he can get a little rowdy when he drinks.
Rowdy Bard.
So, then you've got Brown Tooth. which is kind of an unfortunate name. She is a tabaxi. And she has a drug addiction, Afra. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I guess that is what it is. But that's brown tooth.
Looks so nice though.
Yeah. She has a lot of cavities. Look, you wanted to know? This is what you got. Imagine if you had hired from the bargain bin. All right. Let's see. Who else you got here? You have. Oh, okay. You've got Hunter. Hunter is Arakara.
Another one.
Yeah. She is a rigger. There you go. She is studying to be a ship wizard, but she's not very good at it. Essentially, with her first level feat, she took Wizrobe Adept or whatever, so she can cast like one Wizrobe spell and some cantrips, so she thinks she's kind of a Wizrobe. But the best she could do right now is being a rigger. So, all right. Let's see. Then we've got. Oh, okay. This one's good. This one's good. Whitley the Shadow, who is an Earth Ganassi. Let's see. What's Whitley bringing to the table? Oh, nice. She is your medic, which is kind of cool. Let's see. She kind of looks like a nerd, a little bit. There's a nerd going on. Here we go. Oh, wait. I should put Hunter's name there. Boop. Okay. And then you got Whitley the Shadow. So that is your medic. Let me give you. I didn't give you any thing about Whitley, or sorry, Hunter. Hunter is resilient, a perfectionist, obsessed with becoming a wizrobe, and generally unadventurous. So she is kind of a stick in the mud. A little stick in the mud. Whitley is a nerd, and you take it to be that she is also a bit manipulative, Afra. So just keep that in mind. All right, and then you've got let's see. I think this might finish up your riggers almost. You've got Savage Selena. Savage Selena is actually calm, hilarious, laid back, but she has a bit of a mean streak to her. There we go. Here's her artwork. All right. Who else do we got here? Oh, nice. You've got Granger Twisting Burbridge. And she is your last rigger. She has terrible burns. She doesn't like to talk about how she got them. So, I guess this would be another love interest for Alvis.
Elvis.
He's that guy that pays for like amputee hookers.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
He's going for that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh God.
Is it the other side of her face that's burned? So like.
Oh yeah. So
Left-sided.
Okay.
we could take like an artful picture together, and yeah.
Put uglies together. Bump ugly.
Okay, there is a guy named Robinson Blundersmith. He is clumsy, careless, and self-doubting. You're pretty sure he was only hired because he had somebody owed him a favor. Of everyone you've interviewed so far, Afra, he is definitely the worst. So just gonna keep that in mind. Let's see. Ellis, the straight Thackeray, is restless. He is a human. He is restless, witty, and lacks foresight. He is also a swab. Then you've got Upton, Long Snake Rex. He's called Long Snake because he has a very big penis. So, that came up in the interview. He is irresponsible, spontaneous.
Insight.
Oh, he
Does
just
he
just shows it to you.
Okay, I was gonna say, does
I
he
figured it'd
say?
be like, why do they call you Long Snake? And he's like, well, look at this.
Yep, he just whips it out. 14-inch
Wow.
python. Yep, he's just there. He is. That's Upton Longsnake Rex. He is a swab, so that's basically just the gruntiest grunt on the ship. He is irresponsible, spontaneous. He lacks foresight, but he is very much into his individuality. Okay. Then you've got Zona Layton. And Zona Layton is a dwarf. She's a swab. She fancies herself a diplomat. And she actually says that at the interview. She's also hellaciously old.
What?
Yeah.
I thought we paid good money for this.
And
Would be what, 300?
and with her free feet, she definitely took the wizrobe thing to get a familiar, and the familiar is an ancient ass looking like Drake of some kind. Yeah, her art is definitely worth sharing.
I'm a diplomat, Sonny.
So
This is
yeah.
Roaster.
His name is Rooster. Let's add that in right now, because that's a fantastic name.
Wow.
No, I said Roaster.
Oh, Roaster?
Well,
Yeah.
no, we're calling it Rooster, though. It doesn't matter what the actual name is. We're calling it Rooster.
All right, what else do we got here? Oh, man. Okay. There is a Raoul Scurvy Ramsey, who is a halfling. He is amusing and irresponsible. I don't know why they're all irresponsible if you hired from the best guild, but I'm sure you could whip them all into shape.
I just want to know what the
There you go.
Also,
hired
like
from
swabs
a
are like minimum wage jobs.
Yes, swabs are absolute. They are the minimum wage. A gold a day is minimum wage in the Sword Coast. So this is
There's
your
only so much you can.
these are your Walmart greeters. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He's got a bow.
yeah, he does. He does have a and his best friend managed to get hired on the same ship, and they are very excited about that.
Good for
his
them.
best friend is your cook. He is a goblin. He comes highly recommended. There you go.
There's spies.
His name is Dart Lewis, and he is your cookie.
Oh, God.
Are we sure it's not Darth Lewis?
No. It is definitely Dart Lewis. Some of his friends call him the Swindler. He is he is earnest and kind, and he is BFFs with Raoul Scurvy Ramsey. They are the best of friends. They have the attitude of two children who have fooled the grown-ups into thinking that they are grown-ups that work down at the business factory. And they are just so excited to be pirates and be on a pirate ship.
You said they're children?
No. They have the attitude of children and the size of children, but they are assuredly full-grown adults of their species. All right. Let's see. Finishing up your swabs, you have Rosetta the Merciless Dread. And she definitely looks way too cool and way too scary to be a swab. So you, Afra, think that she is probably undercover on the run or has some kind of story to her. Because she is definitely... you've all worked, like, you know, jobs where they're like, yeah, check out the new janitor. And the janitor that's not the janitor. You know what I mean? Yeah, so this is her.
That secret agent written all over it.
Yeah, so she is a quote-unquote swab aboard your ship. She is relaxed, open. No, wait, sorry. Yeah, she is relaxed, open, and cheerful. All right, and I think that's everybody,
She's
right?
open, but she's got this hidden path.
Yes, and you know for sure that she has a hidden past and she is guilt-ridden about something.
Because she's very open about that.
Well, no. She essentially has two personalities. Again, you're an inquisitive rogue. So she appears relaxed, open, and cheerful, but she is deeply guilt-ridden about
Well, if
something.
she's open, then we're more likely to be approachable to her, so she learns about us, so she knows how to hide better. So.
Yeah, and that's your whole crew there. That's your whole crew.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
In
You
addition
picked
to
really
all
well.
them other clowns that you had. So. Alrighty. Any questions for your crew? Any last minute changes you want to make? Anybody you wanna fire and rehire somebody else, or are you just gonna see what happens?
I foresee issues with the Goblin Cook.
Hey,
Why-
give him a
why is
chance.
So Jenna would request Dart to like cook them up something to taste his food before
Oh sure.
taking him on board. See, cook something up for us.
All right. He squints
Especially if
his
we're
eyes.
paying so much.
He squints his eyes up at you, and he says,
Well, I need to know. Do you want me to do this with like the best ingredients or the worst ingredients? Because if we're doing coastal jobs, we're always going to be filling up on stuff. But if we're going deep, you know what I'm saying? Way deep. If we're going cross-continental, then we're going to be, using the bottom of the barrel, right?
Give
Or
us
are
your
you
dish
are you going to
for
be
each.
magically providing like supplies all the time?
Eventually.
That's the point.
Why don't we just do a moderate meal? Let's do a middle of the road meal.
If it's rabbit, I would be greatly appreciative.
Oh, you'd like me to make something with rabbits then?
I like rabbit.
I hear we'll always have rabbits on hand out to sea.
Yeah, they're aquatic rabbits. Sure. Okay. Are
Do
you
we
into,
have rabbits
are
in our
you in-
menagerie?
Are you into monster meat? Is this gonna be one of them crews where you're always bringing back the meat from the stuff you kill?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Well, I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying I want to make sure I know what I'm dealing with here.
I have these nice cooking forks that help me harvest monster meat. So.
Oh, those are awfully nice, ma'am. All right. Let's see what I can whip up for you here. Okay. Boy, I'm a little nervous. You want me to use the kitchen on the ship, right?
Of course.
Okay.
all right, and he gets to work. All right, here we go. Okay, 17, not bad. So he serves up it is essentially a rabbit chowder. It has mushrooms in it and bacon, and just a little bit of corn, just a little bit of corn, and it is served with some stale bread for dipping, and on the side he has some roasted apples.
That's to prevent the scurvy.
Ah, so you're knowledgeable too. You'll very well be the highest paid goblin I've ever met.
And there's extra protein, because I took a bunch of mealworms, I mashed them up, and cooked them into the chowder.
I see this as a win-win. And I dig into it.
All right.
How does it?
You know, I think the goblin cook will be fine.
And this is my hardtack.
Then he hands you his hardtack. It's hardtack. It's kind of hard to innovate on hardtack, I think.
What is hardtack?
Hardtack is
Cracker?
essentially just like flour.
Come on,
that's,
sailor.
Oh, yeah.
it's like
Come
dried
on,
into, like,
sailor.
biscuits or whatever.
Ah.
Yeah, and when it's the bottom of the barrel, so when you're running out of food, you dip it in your grog to soften it up, and you eat it. And it basically, it has, vitamins in it or whatever.
Hey, look,
So-
man. I've personally been in the middle of the ocean for 30 days straight and only eaten rice. Like,
His hardtack, he likes to grind up bone meal into it, and he has a process for drying fish scales, and he grinds those real fine. He's got a mortar and pestle that he likes to use. So there's definitely some weird quote-unquote vitamins mixed into his hardtack. So, yeah. And he also gives you guys a sample of his vodka. He makes himself. So he would like to have permission to bring his brewing equipment aboard.
of course,
Okay.
it's very welcome.
Do you use potatoes or what do you use, Dart?
Ow, you promised not to tell anybody.
For my honor.
Okay. He brings you in close and he opens up a bag, and it's just full of fat, bloated, like maggoty-looking worms. And he gives you like a vivacious smile, like yeah, you see my stuff. That's the good stuff. Like he's letting you in on something real important here.
Afra's very pointedly not looking and does not.
Yeah. After they are very reminiscent of the rock grubs that nearly killed you. That you still have the you still have the scars.
On the inquisitiveness, and I'm done.
All right. So yeah, rock grub vodka is his specialty. Yeah, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, this aren't. Do I know with my what I've.
Well, if these got
loose.
if these got loose on the ship, right? They definitely look domesticated. Like they're fatter and lazier than the rock grubs that you have seen. And then to sate your curiosity, he says,
Don't worry, they're tame. I just feed them the scraps and the garbage. That's how I keep my kitchen so clean.
Clean kitchen is important.
Yeah.
Go
And
into
then-
the kitchen.
And then when one of them gets big and fat enough, he goes right to the distilling pot. That's his reward.
Is vodka dangerous to anybody?
To the rock grubs.
and he kind of elbows your knee a little bit because he can't, he's very small. So
Sounds fitting. All right.
Quite an innovator, Dart, I have to say.
Welcome aboard.
Wait, what? What was the
Quite
question?
an innovator. You use every part of your kitchen, it sounds like.
Absolutely. Yep. Now, if we can get real desperate, my recommendation is just bring me all them chamber pots. You know what I'm saying? I will whip something up. Don't worry. Nothing goes to waste in my kitchen.
Very resourceful.
You like brownies? I got a good recipe for chamber pot brownies.
Oh shit, fuck me.
Just keep it in the back of your mind, back pocket, just in case.
And Asher left the room at that point.
All right. So, Captain, are you ready to set sail?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do this.
And
Putting on
Pietro's gonna
the
take a look at
to-do list, get a normal quick cookbook for old Dart,
All
so
right.
he can make actual food.
I'm just
You
gonna look at
definitely.
The
you
rabbit
and
stew
sort
was
of look
not
at
bad.
you.
I enjoyed the rabbit stew.
Yes, it was quite good. We should just teach him other ways to
All right.
make chamber
Somehow,
pots.
because Dungeons and Dragons has magic and it doesn't care about real life or science or physics, because someone has the mariner background, you somehow make a 7 hour and change trip in only about 3.5 hours. Again, not sure how it's possible, but you do. And yeah, you in 3.5 hours, with a well-crewed ship close to the coastline like this, you do not encounter any issues. The lizard folk come up and they guide you to sort of an inlet area. And that is where it does start to get a little more dicey. It is daytime. You guys left first thing in the morning. So it's only about, we'll say, 10:30 in the morning right now. As you approach the inlet, the albino lizard folk, she kind of comes up and says,
I would speak with the one they call the captain.
Does it need to be in private?
No, it is a warning. This ship may attract the attention of the Sahaugen. I'm not sure if you want to embark in a smaller group and have your ship leave these waters, but it will definitely stand out like a sore extremity.
Well, I mean, we need to get the resources on shore.
And how long do you think it would take to travel to meet your people and return?
Well, from this inlet, we are several hours of travel inland, a bit more.
So,
But this inlet that we are approaching, it is also the inlet that the Sahaugen are using, I believe, to stage their attacks.
Oh, that's dandy.
This
Okay,
probably is
so-
information this one should have given you sooner.
Yes, it is.
I did not anticipate the boat ride being so brisk. I looked out my seeing hole and saw how close we were. I scrambled with great haste to speak with you.
is there perhaps another place to come ashore?
Perhaps we could take the ship a bit south of here and then try to use your smaller boat to travel through some waterways that lead back to our settlement.
Shall we do that, or shall we risk our brand new boat with our brand new crew?
Well, logistical question. I mean, how many crates of guns do we have, and how much room do we have on?
Yeah. How many?
True.
How much do we have to offload?
It is a significant amount of firearms. It definitely would be like 2 big footlockers full of firearms.
Okay, that's not.
Yeah.
Too
And then
manageable.
the shot and the powder is definitely the
That's
more
gonna take up the room.
yeah, that's gonna be the more problematic part. Now you could probably fit all that into the boat and then still have room for a person in the boat.
Dangerous.
Yeah, but then I don't know. I think if you tried to put anyone else in there, you'd start to weigh it down a bit.
It's like we're gonna have to take multiple trips.
White one, could we?
White one. I like
Or-
that. It makes me sound mysterious.
Great. Could we meet with your people and then bring some of your people to offload the equipment you're trying to purchase?
I see. I see. That might be a good idea. I
Then
will
we
vouch for you that the goods are available. And then you can leave your new crew that you have hired to replace the other one that was murdered by you to protect the merchandise against possible Sahaugan attack. I estimate that as long as a small force of Sahaugan attack, they will be able to repel them with minimal casualties.
Well, I'm thinking we could just, I would just have the ship, parked off the shore quite a ways. Then we could meet them, they'd come in and meet us, we'd do the handoff, and hopefully get out of here before any Sahaugan problems.
I see, I see. This is what you're planning. It is an interesting thing to hear, because I am planning different things. We will see how it plays out, won't we?
Well, what are you planning?
Yeah.
She looks at you coyly, and she says, a diplomat and negotiator should not rip their cards unnecessarily.
Well, I mean, it is
And then she
necessary,
touches her finger to her forehead like the thinking man meme to let you know how smart she is.
would it not be best if we worked cooperatively?
Yes, that is my absolute intention. I was going to subtly influence the princess to hire you as mercenaries against the Sahaugan. Damn it. I have ripped my cards.
Does your princess like to pay well to those that
I mean,
do a great service?
she had those shiny bars you guys seemed pretty interested in.
Yes, I am quite a fan of the shiny bars. Very well.
All right.
Let us meet with her.
If it is all right, I will leave my two associates here. They will continue to represent my people in my absence.
That's good. They'll be quite useful if the Sahaugan attack the ship.
The 5 of you plus me is 6, and then we can take this large sea king creature with us.
And she motions over at Bryn.
I ask that we bring that one,
pointing at Bryn.
because he is from the deep ocean and would probably be quite knowledgeable about the Sahaugan. My people would like to ask many questions.
Yes, that seems good. But remember, information isn't cheap. Let us go.
Gonna go jump onto Bryn and like give him a noogie and be like, "You're one of us now."
Bryn, military, military people. You know that there's still hazing happening, even in the current Dale Reckoning age. So receiving this painful rub to your head area, it seems par for the course. Like this is probably some sort of initiation ritual, maybe.
And while we're disembarking and getting on our jolly boat, I'm going to spend 10 minutes talking about what a wonderful day it is and how we're make some
It is
money.
the nicest. It's the nicest weather in a long time. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
This area doesn't have great weather, so this is pretty nice.
And I'm going to give everyone except for our lizard folk friend, because I can only do 6 people,
Oh,
7 temporary hit points.
Okay.
huge. Yeah, and Jenna's just gonna be spam ritual casting comprehend languages.
Okay.
Question: what kind of impression do we want to make on our lizard folk friends? Do we want to bring some of the guns with us as proof? Do we want to just have the white one or this one say, "Yeah, they're good for it," and we make the lizard folk do all the heavy lifting?
I like the latter.
Okay.
Now,
If they need a demonstration, Garuda could always assist.
Willie definitely wants to come. Joko definitely seems okay with that. In a very, oh, you're bringing turkey to Thanksgiving dinner. What a great idea. So I don't know how you want to handle this, Afro.
I think.
Um, he can come with me,
Oh,
and
okay.
I will say to the white one,
Uh-huh.
remember when we were in that tavern and we discussed that it is not culturally appropriate to eat certain creatures?
This one remembers well. You said when we were in that tavern, it was not culturally appropriate. But now we will be in my tavern, where it is culturally appropriate.
It may be best to leave him on board.
We could do some sort of turducken. We could have this one eat that one, and that one could eat this one, and this one could eat that one.
And you just see like the drool just start like pooling up and like pouring out of her mouth.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Then
I'm
we
gonna whisper
then we
to Willie
roast
that he
we
should
roast
probably go back
all of
to the
them
ship
at once.
Ship
Uh, Okay. Willie, at first, was going to make a sad honk, but he kind of watches the drool pouring out of Joko's mouth and nods at you sagely, letting loose and lets loose a low honk of agreement. Honk. And he just kind of wanders off to check out what else is going on the ship.
I would like to have the snake with me too. Afro, if that's okay with you. He was your original pet. I've come to take a liking to the snake. That's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have my monkey.
You gonna bring the snake with you?
Yeah, the snake is like wrapped around me and head legs like I'm up from
Okay.
sleep.
We better bring a turkey or something, because they're gonna think we're bringing. Is there a turkey around here? Can someone go catch a wild turkey? Is there marsh turkey?
You've got your parrot, Jenna.
He's on board. He's snapping.
All right. So, you guys are gonna head in, and Joku explains.
We are arriving by the sea entrance. There are 2 entrances to our lair. Be warned, the sea entrance is well guarded. Hopefully, our guardians do not kill us in their zeal to impress.
White one, can we put out some sort of signal to say that there are friendlies coming? I don't want to get shot full of arrows. I like leader.
I don't like this.
Don't think today is a good day to die. I don't know about anybody else, but I like to go and leave.
I see. You make interesting requests, and I have heard them. Yep.
All right. So you guys are kind of rowing your boats, and you reach the shoreline, and she kind of points out like a natural sort of waterway that you can enter. And it's very much like if you've taken like an Everglades tour or something like that, that's basically where you're at. So there's mangrove trees and All sorts
Beautiful.
of like ambient animals that are out enjoying the beautiful windy day. Good stuff. Good stuff. She says,
Yes, this close to the lair, we should only have to worry about Sahaugen raiders. There shouldn't be any frog folk or rival lizard folk to deal with here. Maybe trolls, but it is doubtful.
Wait, one, you say rival lizard folk? I thought you said you had a princess. How fragmented are your people?
Well, much like the softskins don't always get along, there are different tribes of lizard folk. Our tribe does not get along with this other tribe regarding all things. Some things, yes. All things, no. This makes sense to you, yes?
See, I understand. Um,
Our settlement is known as Saureal. Their settlement is known as Rathroxus. They are very aggressive. They constantly, when we have community meetings, insist that we go to war against the Saltmarshes. But we push back. That is not our way.
Well, that's kind of good to hear.
we appreciate you being peacekeepers of sorts.
We have tried to bring them in to assist us against the Haugen, but we believe they are going to wait for us to be worn out battling the Sahaugen, then come in, kill our princess, or enslave her, and take over our people, at which point they will force us all to make war upon Saltmarshes.
Is there any possibility that they could have formed an alliance with the Sahaugen, or is it too much of a racial conflict between you and the shark folk?
I suppose anything is possible. The Rathroxus, they are crafty, but unlike us, they refuse to try new ways of doing things. So it is doubtful that they would affiliate themselves with another, but perhaps these are trying times, times of great change.
After all this discussion of war and potential ambush, Pietro gets out his crossbow and just sort of keeps an eye out.
it wouldn't be a bad idea. It wouldn't be a bad idea.
Sort of gives a knowing look to Garuda to maybe, ready his weapons.
All right. Bear with me here. For some reason, Roll20 has overwritten my really cool-looking lizard folk lair with their default one. So I might need just a second, to see if I could grab this thing. Okay. Hold on just a sec, guys. But yeah, please, while I'm searching for this, get your diplomacy A game together.
Fortunately, Elvis isn't here to ruin anything.
Oh dang.
Since he's not here, Pietro just permanently has his hand clapped over Alvis's mouth the entire time we're dealing with the princess.
Okay, fair enough. Good strategy, because I was as a good NPC, I was gonna have him stick his foot in his mouth a couple times. So
if he opens his mouth, I'm just gonna ram my fist in there.
okay.
Sounded dirty.
All right.
Well, Prime Water might kill Alvis, but if we piss off the princess, she'll kill all of us.
You're definitely going into a high. I will tell you this: you're going into a high stakes, very dangerous situation.
I think we should probably have Afra represent us.
Yeah, Jenna's just like, let me and Afra do the talking. Remember, our utmost goal is to preserve relations with Saltmarsh, as that is our employer's goal.
Also make money, right? We're gonna make.
Oh, of
He's
course.
important to have
We're
to
gonna
live.
try and get as much out of this as possible, but
All right, I found the map. Okay, cool. Ugh, God. There has to be a better platform. Like, it has to be. But I don't know. I don't have time to find it. All right, let me switch you guys over to the map. You guys arrive. There was no troll attack. There was no Bullywug Raiders. Like, man, RN Jesus is looking out for you guys. Okay.
I wouldn't mind grinding for some levels right now, but yeah, good.
Yeah, we're real close to 5.
It'd be nice, especially if we're going into all-out war.
Yeah.
So I've got this very thin spell book from a crazy old skeleton that has one very spell in it.
I got a pretty rose out of the deal, so I'm okay with what happened when that was rogue.
Okay. Alright. So this is where it gets a little tricky. She basically says,
So here we must go under the water.
Wait, what?
Here we must go under the water.
How long will we be submerged?
Oh,
Is there a good place to dock the boat?
no more than 5 minutes.
Wait, what?
5 minutes, huh?
This is not a problem, is it?
Well, you see, us soft skins, not all of us can breathe underwater.
You can hold your breath.
Most soft skins can only do that for about a short amount of time.
I said no more than 5 minutes. As long as you keep moving, you should be fine.
Who here can breathe underwater?
Really?
Jenna says, everyone.
"Oh, I should switch you guys out for some swampy music. Maybe Roll20 will at least let me play that. Let's see."
I can't even hear
I think can, and I assume Bryn can.
All right. So she does look around at the surroundings a bit nervously, and she says,
Oh,
we should
thank you.
probably hurry.
by now it's about 1 in the afternoon.
Jenna,
Nope.
spells that could help with that?
It would burn me through quite a bit to get us all to
Not
give
a
everyone the ability to breathe underwater.
Not all of us have to go. I could stay here with Alvis.
I will happily stay here.
Considering how that one, the white one seems to lust after Garuda, perhaps he should stay here as well.
I caution that with your numbers diminished, you will become enticing prey.
Well, either we become prey or we drown.
Fine. I will.
Is there a land entrance we can use?
I can provide you with some magic to breathe underwater.
That would be great. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I memorized it for just such an occasion. Which of you is too weak to swim underwater for 5 minutes?
Shots fired.
I am.
Okay.
I would need assistance.
I think we all would, with the exception of all of us.
Well, you're strong.
I'm strong, but I don't have the Mariner armor yet.
Well, but you can.
So I can't go as far. So that's going to offset my breath holding, I would think.
All right. She will cast the water breathing ritual. So let's see. That is up to 10 people. So boom, there you go. She gives you all water breathing.
Are my pets included in that?
What about the owl and the snake?
If they're willing creatures, yeah.
Yeah, they're willing creatures.
Okay, that has a duration of 24 hours and does not require any concentration. So she breaks off a piece of swamp reed and she dips it into the muck, and then she draws a rune on everybody's throats. and it kind of burns a little bit, and now you feel like you could breathe underwater.
Excellent.
Much
Cool.
appreciated, White One.
Now, let us go. Oh, I forgot. This is a very small map. Let me shrink everyone.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, that works. All right. So as you guys swim through these swampy, nasty underwater tunnels, there are some eels down there. There are frogs, fish, all sorts of weird, swampy kind of kelp-looking formations. You kind of pass through a curtain of kelpy leaves and things like that. Uh, Up ahead, you see some creatures, and the creatures definitely look like they like to fight. They look like that. They are 6.5 feet
Actually,
tall.
can't see anything.
Oh, you can't see anything. Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually still on the ship.
Oh, okay. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. You don't have to pound your microphone. I'll do it. Hold on. Okay. So
Oh,
they
okay.
they look like that. 6.5 feet tall, covered in scales and barnacles and other types of sea growth that seem to have been cultivated into a natural armor. They wield tridents, and they look ready to f some things up. There are a great number of them. The females are far more hideous than the males. Let's see if I can. There we go. That's the females looking sexy.
Are they
Yeah.
saying anything?
In Aquan, they say, if you move any further, you will be slain. All right, so I think Bryn, I would definitely give you advantage to knowledge nature check to identify what these are. If you'd like to roll one. Otherwise, that's cool too. All right, whoever's destroying their microphone this morning, I can't do it. I can't do it. You can't do this to me. Like, so whoever's punching their microphone, do not punch your microphone again. You can't do it. All right. So I guess we'll just keep going.
Can I make a nature check as well?
Yes, you can definitely make nature checks. If you'd like. If anybody wants to try to see if they know what these creatures are. And the one that was speaking is this rowdy boy over here, who apparently has a pet crab that is whispering secrets to him. Yeah, Bryn, you know these creatures well. They are coalinths. Jenna, you know these creatures from reading about them. They are coalinths. Coalinths are aquatic hobgoblins. So that much like land hobgoblins, they live for battle and for war. They have a very structured, very militaristic society. They do not let things like goodness get in the way of getting the job done. So they are efficient and merciless in their execution of their tasks. So that is what they are.
Can
They speak Goblin, um, kind of as a secondary language. Primary language is Aquan.
Jenna calls out and Aquin,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing here? We have no business with you.
Cast a light while they're talking.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, seeing Joku, uh, this one over here says, "I thought you brought a hostage. Is that not the situation? We
No.
have been tasked with forward guard for this sea tunnel."
Seems you're doing quite an excellent job. No, this is just This is just the white one. We are in business together.
He kind of narrows his eyes, and she lets out some air and kind of nods her head, and he narrows his eyes again, and he says, I lack the magic to confirm whether or not this is true. If you mean no harm, you may surface for air, and I will send for those who can confirm.
Yes, go get that one. We
All
will
right.
wait here.
So they kind of form up defensively a bit. Yeah, and you guys see that there are many, lizard folk posted on guard out here. Lots going on. You are in sort of a muddy underground cave, as it were. Like most of the area is muddy, but there is lots of abundant plant growth. And here and there, you do see that there are phosphorescent groups of fungi that provide some illumination to the area. And even without sunlight, a lot of the stuff is able to grow, which is sort of interesting. It could be the types of plants, it could be something that the lizard folk are doing. But eventually, someone is summoned and returns. Let me go grab that someone in particular. There we go. All right. So, a black-skinned lizard folk arrives. Here we go. When he sees the white-skinned lizard folk, both of their mouths drop open into alligator-esque smiles. And the black one says,
Ah, Joku, you have returned. Excellent. The princess is eager to hear news of your magnificent journey.
this is all in Draconic, though. Does anybody speak Draconic?
No, but Jenna casts comprehend languages.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah,
she's
so you would
she's
hear
she's
it, but you wouldn't
like,
be able to participate.
yeah,
Gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha, gotcha.
and she's also gonna put on like that she has no idea what they're talking about kind of like reaction. Like she's gonna seem ignorant of their conversation.
All right, sounds good. She says,
Yes, this one has returned and has great news, and potentially more powerful allies in our battle. We would seek an audience with the princess so that she can see and hear for herself of these great warriors and the wonders this one has seen.
and the black skin one basically says,
Do you trust these enough to bring them to the throne room? It could be bad for us if they are double agents. That is when softskins pretend one thing and then do another. A complex deception.
she seems to think this over, and she says,
They are quite deceptive. That is a possibility. We should be prepared to kill them if necessary. Definitely double the guard and have more ready in the waiting.
and he kind of inflates his throat sack and kind of growls back at her. And he says,
Then perhaps we should blindfold them to bring them. That way they cannot find their way out of the maze like labyrinth that is our home. As they scurry about in the dark like ferrets, we will find them and eat them.
and then she's kind of inflates her throat sack in excitement and says,
This one thinks this is an excellent idea. Perhaps they will screw up big time, and we will have a feast instead of allies. Either way, it is a win-win.
she turns to you with a big diplomatic smile, and she says in the common tongue,
This one has secured an audience with the princess. Your lives are in no danger whatsoever.
Excellent.
These
Let
are
us
really
be
good.
with her at once.
But it is necessary for you to have your eyes covered, that you might not see our inner defenses, just in case one of you is a double agent.
It's very acceptable.
You did not
I
think I
understand.
knew of such things, but I am a diplomat.
Quite a good one. Yes, we understand that you must take every precaution. And Crash, while they blindfold us,
"Uh-huh.
Jenna's gonna Wally's sitting on her head, and
Mm-hmm.
Jenna's just gonna see through Wally's senses because they're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna blindfold the bird, and she's
Oh,
gonna
well,
look
he was
around and
dead.
see everything.
No, she'd have resummoned him.
Oh. Claire. I thought he was an actual live bird.
No.
Oh.
No, it's a familiar.
Okay. That's what I get for not party from the jump.
Now, Joko, who has a familiar, would probably understand how familiars work. Remember her familiar? This little guy
Oh
right
yeah,
here?
the cute little dragon thing.
Yeah.
Well, I
So,
mean, if she thinks of that, but
Captain.
Wally's just been sitting on her head.
okay.
I mean, yeah, do they blindfold the snake too? The,
I mean, she'll ask you candidly.
Is this, are these foods or familiars?
they're my
Uh,
friends.
You seem to be awfully, hmm, they're friends. Yes. Can you see through their eyes, as I can see through my friends over here?
I give her like the weirdest look. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? No,
This one
people.
is too stupid to be a threat. Captain Jenna the Generous. Unfortunately, you will need to put an adorable blindfold on your bird. He is too intelligent, much more intelligent than your giant bird.
and she looks shrewdly at at Wally, and Wally looks shrewdly at her, and she says,
Yes, always thinking, always calculating.
Are we walking there or are we swimming there?
Oh no, we will walk there. It gets tiresome to swim all the time.
Well, if
Uh,
she actually thinks about my familiar, which is pretty convenient,
"Yeah,
Jenna
well,
will,
I mean,
Jenna will put
she is
Wally in
also a
her pocket.
wizrobe, so I mean, that would make sense."
Um,
Good
All
thing she
right.
hasn't revealed that to me yet.
One of us with like high deception or sleight of hand, like leave a sort of a trail of breadcrumbs as we go.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that'd be cool. Leave a
So,
trail of breadcrumbs.
actually, I mean, I think that I can, with my inquisitiveness and my survival skills, maybe just remember the way based on sense of direction and
Totally. All right. So, you guys head south. Um, you hear weird croaking sort of frog slash fish type sounds. Those of you who can understand Aquan, and those of you who have comprehend languages, you hear very Murloc sounding people saying,
Oh, what do you think those are? Prisoners?
And there are a lot of whispers about what there could be. Then you move through another area. This is all very muddy, so you hear your boots kind of squelching in the mud, or your raptor talons. Um, then you hear melodious singing, and you hear some splashing, and you hear some effeminate or masculine voices, sort of murmuring back and forth, and they basically are saying, "What do you suppose this means? I'm not sure." In I believe, what language do these guys prefer above all others? Let me double check, because they would more likely to just be chilling in their base language. Aquan. Okay, yeah. So it definitely doesn't sound melodious because they're above the water. But yeah, in their horrible sound, another group, distinct from the others, are discussing this. You now go into a narrow passage. It is a classic Dungeons and Dragons situation, 10 feet by 10 feet. You make your way through the muddy passageways. Um, you feel bright light briefly illuminate you, and then you continue. You sense an opening to your left, you sense an opening to your right. You continue, you head down some stairs. You hear a gate being opened. You feel a passage to your left, but you continue straight. You feel a passage to your left, but you actually go right. You hear a door being opened. You hear the sounds of lizard folk fighting a massive reptilian creature. There is a pitched battle going on. You weave between some stone pillars. Another door is open. You are in a hallway. You sense a doorway off to your right. You continue past it. Bright light illuminates you. Eventually, you reach a point where they stop moving. All right. So you stand outside of massive doors. The doors are made out of swamp wood, vines, and they do, however, have metal and stone hinges and whatnot, and a framework to make sure that they are held in place. So let me move you guys back to the right layer here. Okay. So blindfolds are removed. All right. So yeah, she seems pretty excited, as does the black-skinned one. And the black-skinned one says,
I will go inside and let them know. You should probably give them a primer about what is acceptable behavior.
and so he kind of opens the door a little bit, and he pops inside, whoop, and then closes the door behind him. All right. Joku turns to you guys and is like,
Well, this is it. Big stuff's about to happen. You have any questions?
Yes, just any common courtesies we should respect among your people. I would not want to insult the princess.
she looks hungrily at Garuda, and she says,
It is not uncommon to offer up a recent kill as a shared meal.
I wish you would have told us this before.
But by waiting until now, I have increased the odds that you would kill this one, who is the most delicious.
Do not kill our friends.
and she points to her forehead again to show you smart.
Is she pointing at me?
Is
Yeah.
very much.
I look behind me like, who is she trying to eat? Like, I'm like looking around. I know she ain't
Failing
talking
that,
about me.
understand that our princess rules with absolute power, and we are a people of directness. Do not try to be coy. Do not try and use what is it? What is the magic called? Sarcasm.
Pietro kind of looks over at Jenna and sort of asking a question with his eyes, like, should I say something and be direct as far as like not killing Garuda?
If there's
Je-
something that you, if there's a
Jenna nods.
point that you need to make, you need to make it. Do not hope that it is understood. Make it known. Do you understand?
I think I do.
Okay.
By the way, this one's not for eating, and she points at Garuda. You
Why
will
don't
be.
we just go down the list? Who here is for eating?
They tried to eat me?
None of us.
None of them.
None of us.
The small friends, nothing.
No, sorry. I would have brought a pig or something if I knew better.
Oh, that would have been good, yes.
Um,
Oh well. Let us enter. Are you ready?
Yes,
I
I
believe
think
we
so.
are.
Okay, so the doors are dramatically pushed open, and before you is a throne room. Man, let me describe this throne room to you, I guess. Let's see.
Are we unblindfolded?
Yes, you should be able to see. Can you see?
Yes.
All right, I'll.
You might want to ping, yeah,
There
ping
we
the.
Okay. All right, the throne room. Two sets of natural stone pillars flank a central area where two lizard folk hatchlings are playing. Oh, where are the little hatchlings? Oh, there they are. They're playing with the alligator, I guess. Okay. See them? See how cute they are?
Oh yeah, they're
Oh, right
very.
here?
Yeah,
Okay,
these
well,
little guys.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
these
sure it's
little
on
guys are
targeting then.
All right.
Dude, if
So,
anyone looks like they're for eating, I'm just saying. Look at those.
Yeah.
they're cuties. All right.
Shit pop off. I know who I'm
Allergic snow
shooting
lizards.
first.
At the far end of the room, a wooden throne stands on a low stone dais. Carvings of reptiles decorate the throne, and glints of reflected light hint at the presence of inset gemstones. The heads of several creatures hang on the walls, mounted on plaques of wood for display as trophies. All right. Yeah. So the trophies. I don't know if your characters would know what all of them are, but I will tell you what they are. You have a giant albino crayfish. There is a carrion crawler. There is a hippopotamus. There is a land hobgoblin. There is a Sahaugen head. There is a brown bear. There is a mountain lion. There is a hammerhead shark. There is a giant frog, and there is a great white shark. Yeah. All right. The princess is gorgeous in her coloration. Yeah. Take it all in. Take it all in. Update your furry fanfics. There she is. She has a purplish magenta hue with turquoise scales. I mean, as crocodile people go, she's a stunner. She's a stunner. You see around the room there is a massive crocodile. There are some dudes that look like basically royal guards. They actually have some bits of metal in their armor, and they have metal incorporated into their weaponry and defenses. You see that there's this guy right here that you have already dealt with. He has just got done whispering into the ear holes of the princess. You see this big son of a bitch right here. He is a large creature, dressed in hides that seem to be kind of sewn together. Oh, okay. See you in 20 minutes. And then in her lap is a very large, probably 8 foot long snake like creature that has a head on each end of its body, like the popular Nickelodeon cartoon Cat Dog.
Snake.
Yep. So it's got a snake head on both sides of its body.
How does it poop?
Ooh. That would be an excellent first question to ask.
At a later date.
Okay. So she Juko walks into the room, and Juko says, in Draconic,
This one has returned from her long journey aboard the boat. the boat sailed above the deep ocean. There, this one watched the goings on of the softskins and she who walks between two worlds. She who walks between two worlds acquired the weapons that were promised. However, they were attacked and defeated by stronger softskins. Those softskins have consumed the responsibilities and duties of the defeated and have returned with me to present themselves and make arrangements for the delivery of the goods.
All right. Then she switches to common and she says,
You can come forward now.
and then she says in Draconic,
This one is sad to say that none of my new allies can speak the true tongue. So, Princess, it would be good for you to speak with them in the trade tongue of the softskins, as you were tutored.
And the princess just has sort of a bored look on her face, and she nods. And then Joku says, in common,
Behold, Princess Othokent, leader of Saureal.
and then she dips her head and she kind of like shuffles to the side. The princess motions for you to approach.
Jenna takes off her hat and she does a very extravagant bow.
Afra does a more utilitarian bow.
Pleasure to meet you, princess.
I will say this is our captain and leader, Jenna. Afra, the voice of the captain and first mate, did find ourselves in need of a ship, and so, regretfully, the ship we needed was the one your goods were on. However, we have no quarrel with the lizard folk, and indeed, your relatives have been quite a help to us. So we decided that we would hold true to your contract, and your weapons are currently at the shore in our ship, merely waiting for you to claim them. We bring these to you on behalf of the town of Saltmarsh as an offering of peace and solidarity against the Sahaugan.
All right, good stuff. Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll with advantage.
Hey.
Okay. The princess seems to be digesting your words like a supervillain in a James Bond movie with a fluffy white cat. She is petting her massive snake, and she, you notice, is nude because lizard folk, right? Except for a sort of decorative sarong type situation that she has around her lower half that's sort of just bunched up with all of her parts in the throne, as it were. Let's see what else is going on here. She is wearing a rather unusual necklace. You notice the necklace looks like this. It yeah, it stirs something inside of you that feels unpleasant when you look upon it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is carved of some sort of green stone. You're not 100% sure off the top of your head what the stone is. All right. The princess kind of stares at you for several minutes, just sort of digesting your words. And she says,
This one is pleased that you took it upon yourselves to honor the deal that was made with she who walks both worlds. It is unfortunate that she lacked the strength to defend what was hers, but this is the way of the world and of nature. This one will honor the deal as well. Your predecessor spoke to us of the importance of keeping these weapons from being submerged. It sounds like you will need to deliver them through the swamp entrance of our settlement.
Indeed.
Yet you arrive through the seaward facing entrance. It would seem to this one that you were not given all the information that was required.
and you see Juko look a little flustered at that.
Well, indeed, it, at the time, seemed there was no other way.
I see.
Did not wish to offend our guide.
This one would like to have the weapons as soon as possible. There is likely to be another attack against our settlements by the Sahalgan. And that attack is likely to come soon. They enjoy nothing more than to attack during a storm, and I have it on good authority that a severe storm will strike tomorrow.
Then I invite you to gather your strongest men who can help us carry many large crates back to your people.
I see. In a situation similar to escorting the payload.
Indeed.
Yes, I suppose we could craft some sort of raft or something, and I will provide you with guards and crocs to assist you with all of that.
That would be greatly appreciated.
She kind of eyes you. She's definitely inciting you guys hard. Does anybody want to roll a deception check to present something different than what she would normally intuit?
I mean,
if so, go ahead and roll it. If not, she will just sort of take you at the face value that she can get.
oh, well,
They know I'm not fool, right? I don't need to roll for that, right? They know it.
You might want to roll for it.
Oh, wow.
I like how you took her advice. You guys are being completely candid. That's really nice of you. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, yeah, good thing we're not actually trying to lie today.
All right. So, I feel like this Triton wouldn't really try to, but I guess seeing everybody else doing it, maybe. If anything, he'd probably do it just to flex. So let me see. Yeah. Yeah, Bryn seems like the strongest, most Arnold Schwarzenegger mofo in the room right now. Even the big wrestling dude kind of like takes one tiny step back when he sort of flexes his muscles a bit. And I don't know. I feel like all of us at this point would just shout something irreverent and weird. But
you wouldn't have the chance.
No, I keep his mouth covered.
But you have his mouth covered. Gotcha. He just starts licking your hand. It's gross at first, and then more gross because he starts getting like a sensual rhythm to it.
Oh, it's so unpleasant.
Sensual.
He's trying to force it between the cracks in your fingers. He's like running it along the cracks of your fingers. Yeah.
I look over at all
Good.
and say, keep this up and I will pinch your fucking nose.
The princess's mouth kind of turns up crocodile style in a bit more of a smile, and she says,
This one senses that you are mercenaries. I have need of mercenaries. I would like to offer you a lucrative opportunity.
How lucrative?
You have heard of the saying amongst the softskins of great risk for great reward, yes?
Indeed. We are fond of both.
Let's say that the risk here is tremendous.
And the reward even more tremendous?
Well, yes, that was the math that we had discussed. Yes. I said that they would be equal, and then I said that it would be great. So that would equal great. Great equals great. That was the math that I presented to you.
The math
You are
checks
familiar
out.
with mathematics.
Yes, it checks out.
Okay,
Yes. I have read books.
good for you.
The what might be the details of this work? You
So,
may see that we are very interested.
I am going to have a conversation with you in the Chondathan tongue, the trade tongue of the softskins of this region. Not all in the room can understand this language, but some can. We are going to talk about things and not talk about things at the same time, like your people do. This is a deception meant to convey information between myself and yourselves. This way, it will not upset those in the room who might be upset by such information. Nod if you follow.
I nod very carefully and slowly.
Excellent. Good. All right. I understand that the Sahaugen are intruding on our lands because they seek something. My people are not sure what, but I have a sense for what they might be after. There are ruins deep beneath Dunwater.
That really perks up at ruins.
These are some spooky ass ruins, let me just tell you. These ruins sunk deep into the marshes long ago. They are remnants of an earlier time. My people, as you probably know, have been the same for millions of years. Because once you have perfected yourself, there is no reason to evolve any further.
Yes, you are indeed evolutionary miracles.
Absolutely. Now, we came to this region far before the softskins. But before us, there were others. Now, over time, these foul ruins, they sunk into the muck and were forgotten. But in the olden times, they were viewed as a dangerous place. A place that lizard folk would go and not return. Or if they did return, they would return corrupted, changed, powerful, but obsessed with values not in line with what our people would prefer to follow. Your people would call such things evil.
This, just like there is a drip of drool coming out of Afra's mouth.
Now, the Dunwater has a guardian spirit. Well, it has several guardian spirits, but the one most important to my people is known as Thousand Teeth. Thousand Teeth is a great and powerful crocodile. Massive, huge in size. He does not actually have 1,000 teeth. This is an exaggeration to make him sound more fearsome. I would assume he has several hundred teeth. But several hundred teeth does not sound nearly as impressive as saying 1,000 teeth. Do you follow?
Indeed.
I'm sure you do.
Indeed.
I just wanted to make sure
I'm gonna
because
nod like, wow, that is really clever.
yeah, we had an issue with math earlier, so I wanted to make sure that you understood that if you are expecting 1,000 teeth, you may be disappointed. So in this case, the number is not literal; it is an embellishment. Okay. So now that we've established that, let us move on. 1,000 Teeth used to protect our people, and was one of the main reasons that the Saureal did not go to war against their hateful neighbors, the Rathroxus, and vice versa. But recently, he has become something else. He has become cruel and dangerous. This has been both a boon and also a bane. He has killed indiscriminately lizard folk, animals, and even the Sahaugan raiders. Currently, he dwells in an island within the marshlands. I believe that he is there because he is drawn to a power that has corrupted him. I believe that this matches up with the stories my people have told of the ancients who came before us in this region.
And you hear, like, I don't know, her crocodile's asleep and making horrible snoring sounds. That's totally intended. So if you hear a weird snoring sound in the background of my mic, it is totally a crocodile and not my wife who fell asleep just now. So I will throw this water bottle at her if you really want her to stop. So just let me know. All right. So Otho Kent basically she tries to speed things along, but they're lizard folk, so they struggle with that. She just says,
I'm sorry, if I was being more direct, this would go a lot quicker, but I'm trying to basically confuse my acquaintances and followers here so that they don't understand what I'm asking you to do. He is a great totem spirit, and we are prohibited to attack him or hurt him in any way. But you are not of our people and are not held by such restrictions. If you were to investigate what has happened to him, if he attacked you and you were forced to defend yourself, you would not be breaking any cultural taboos. You would simply be surviving. Do you understand my meaning here?
Indeed.
Yes.
And if a great tragedy were to guardian spirit, you would not hold the softskins of Saltmarsh responsible?
No, no. In this instance, it would be my fault. I would have sent you there on an errand of royal importance, and if you defended yourselves and something bad happened to Thousand Teeth, it would be your natural reaction and a result of my poor decision.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, pray such a tragedy does not occur. And, like, I give a big wink.
all
If
right.
they know what winking means, but
Yeah, she winks both sets of eyelids back at you. She says,
I think, and this might be a tremendous leap forward in thinking. I think the Sahaugan are after the ruins that have recently begun to resurface. The timing is such that they have arrived right around the time of Thousand Teeth's corruption and around the increasing amount of nightmares experienced by my people. So the task I set before you is twofold. Go and investigate what has happened to Thousand Teeth, and find out if these ruins are in fact resurfacing, if there is some connection between them and the Sahaugen, and what could be done.
And Jenna's just gonna, or excuse me, Afra is just going to turn a great big smile on Jenna, like, can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? And has at this point completely forgotten about money.
I have sensed that you are quite greedy, so I am prepared to offer you whatever you find within the ruins is your business.
Of course, of course, of course.
Payment? Jenna
And-
just looks at Efra like,
And
Oh, yes.
if you return with useful information, I can provide you with gemstones equaling 500 dragons. That is what the Softskins call their gold pieces. And if you unfortunately defend yourselves successfully against our totem spirit, may the twin deity of perfection bless and keep him forever, and he guard us for centuries to come. She winks both eyelids. I can provide you with 500 more dragons worth of gemstones. I suppose if you can find a solution that does not involve the death of Thousand Teeth, I will double that reward.
Very well. Look over at Jenna because I'm just like so enamored of ruins that I like have no idea the value of money anymore. Is that good? Good? I don't know.
can we get some more information on this Thousand Tooth? What exactly are we looking to go up against?
She says some stuff in Draconic. It's basically like Tubbo present, and Tubbo presents himself.
Imagine this, but big.
Okay.
It's quite
Is this,
risky.
is this in common tongue?
No.
Yeah, no, this isn't the common tongue. She gives
So,
Tubbo the command in Draconic.
I mean-
because I've been sat on by one of the lizard people, Pietro's gonna say, how big are we talking about? Like twice that size?
She says in Draconic,
Sariv, by last accounts, how big has Thousand Teeth grown?
and Sariv looks thoughtful. Sariv is apparently this guy right here. And he says,
Princess, if we only count his body and not his tail, 20 feet. If his tail is incorporated into those calculations, I would place him more at 40 feet. I would say he is larger than the largest dragon we have seen in these parts in a long time.
and the princess looks at him, and he looks at her, and and they kind of look at each other, and she turns to you, and in Chandathan, she says,
Not too large.
Can I roll? Would that be a perception?
"Sure."
Oh, you can't understand it.
Well, no. It's just
No,
like
no. What she says, not too large. You could definitely, because her mouth almost moves like a goddamn Muppet when she says that. Like she's trying so hard to stay like neutral while she does it. It's a terrible lie.
How
Okay.
about
Should I roll?
Fine, fine. It's very big, okay?
She said not too large. I'll just stare at her like, what?
Like a prayer, and he crosses his.
So she starts shouting commands in in her language in Draconic, and she gets them to stand like this. And she says,
There, like 20 by 20. I don't know, with a tail. It can hit you with the tail. It can probably eat you alive. I don't know. Look, if it was easy, I wouldn't be asking you to do it.
So Pietro
seems
sort of
like
mutters a prayer and crosses himself, and just starts looking around a little worried.
I'm pretty sure he has not displayed any magical abilities.
Double the pay.
You request quite the feat, Your Highness. Since we're so confused about the size, why don't we say 50 dragons per foot in length? That way we will feel comfortable, um, no matter what we're going up against, that we're getting paid well for it.
You want to multiply the amount I promised you for successfully defending yourself by 4 increments.
Oh, I'm sorry. Math is this weird thing.
Because there were 2 different rewards being offered, one for investigating and one for defending yourself.
Well,
Know
Your
this, that by
Majesty.
revealing the location of these ruins and Thousand Teeth, I am providing you with an opportunity to become quite wealthy in and of itself with the treasures that lie buried within those ruins.
Zephryr's looking at Jenna with puppy eyes, like, please, please.
But, if the battle goes poorly, I will, in my great generosity, recompensate you 50 dragons worth of wealth for each of yours that you lose in battle.
And she smiles broadly at you.
It's not even enough to pay for the funeral.
100 per ally who dies in the battle.
Very well. We'll take the whole crew.
Oh, it's your life.
Now, I would like this task taken care of immediately, because if it is in fact the reason that the Sahaugen are attacking, the sooner we can figure this out, the sooner we can end this fruitless war. You see, we have many enemies who are taking advantage of our resources being tied up in this fruitless, bloody conflict against the Sahaugen. Oh, also, I have another task for you. Juko, you have brought very useful allies to our lair. You there, beefy one. Yes, yeah, you in the back. Mm-hmm. You are from the deep ocean, as are the Sahaugen. We have captured a Sahaugen prisoner recently, and we'd seek to know more about their people. He has proven to be resistant to our interrogation techniques. Perhaps you softskins, with your penchant for cruelty, could inflict more harm upon it in a manner that would get the results needed.
Oh, absolutely. We are very good at that.
Oh, you're looking for an interrogation. What if I told you I could get him to answer any question you had? What would you be willing to pay for that? A service like that?
Depending on the value of the information, it is impossible to promise ahead of time, but I will easily give you 100 gold to simply speak with him. If you have useful information, then I can reward you even more so.
You can bring him here and I'll get him to answer any question you have.
He is far too dangerous to remove from his cell. You will be taken to his cell and can question him there. He has already tried to escape several times and has injured many guards.
I see.
Be warned, he is hideous to look upon.
Since we are allies, as you so well put it, are we able to walk around without our vision being obscured?
Certainly. I will insist that you continue to take Juko as a guide, and I will position 2 of my royal guards with you. It seems that this one who has his mouth covered is a liability, or you would not be doing so.
He lacks your courtly education and training, my lady. We make him offense.
I also would not want this one,
And she points to Garuda.
to accidentally trip and fall into a stew pot.
Yes, you would not want that.
That would be a delicious tragedy.
That bird is our secret weapon.
Mm. That bird could be our secret recipe.
Would you rather eat him, or would you rather him slay your enemies
You seem like
with a single
a
shot?
being desperate for wealth and power, so I will tell you this. If you bring me the corpse of that bird creature after your efforts, I will pay you 1,000 gold.
Oh God!
I raise my hand. Question: does it have to be me specifically, or any bird person?
Yes, there is an aroma that comes off of you that is intoxicating.
And
Yeah.
there's a low murmur in the room at that.
Unfortunately, that's one agreement we can't come to.
Mm.
His worth is far greater than.
She looks at you coyly and says,
I have planted the seeds in your mind. Allow them to grow. Watch him on the battlefield. Accidents do happen.
Jenna looks back at Garuda like, you don't gotta worry about it.
Hey, girl, looks act like cool.
all right, Jenna, I'll probably need a deception check. And Garuda will probably need an insight check. Jenna, does he really not have a problem?
Yeah, he really doesn't have anything
all right.
to worry about.
Okay. Apparently, you guys have been through enough, Garuda, that you feel like
Oh, yeah,
Jenna
I
would
trust
sell
Jenna.
you out for 1,000 gold. Okay.
I've seen Garuda blow people's heads off with
Okay.
one shot. Like, he's way more valuable than 1,000.
All right. So I can expedite your travel to the prison if you'd like.
Indeed.
Please.
Okay. I can also make a hero stack and occasionally drop you down so that you could see more of the lair. Which would you prefer? Essentially fast travel to the prison, or do you want a tour of the prison?
I'd like a tour.
Right,
Did you make the map, or
did I what?
Did you make the map, or is this like?
Did I make this map?
Yeah.
I did not personally
Crash
make this
does
map.
not make maps. He steals maps.
No.
I make maps sometimes. I do make maps sometimes. This map was made for the community. I don't have his name off the top of my head, but I can get it to you.
No, I was just asking.
He made all the maps for this game, and I will show you why real quick. You guys are in the Lizardfolk map that he made. Let me show you the Lizardfolk map that Roll20 and Wizards of the Coast thought we should use, and you could tell me which one you think is better. And I'm going to tell you right now, Roll20 actually thought it was okay to dynamically light this map and sell it to me for money. Yeah. So big thanks to that dude. Yeah, I was prepared to make this map from scratch because I couldn't find one. Fortunately, this map did get released, and I was like, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good map. It's a big ass map, so
it's huge. Yeah.
I was very happy I didn't have to make it from scratch. All right, so you guys head out of the throne room. Joku's going with you, and 2 royal guards to keep an eye on your crazy person.
Garuda.
Yeah, that's the real reason. Because accidents happen all the time in the workplace. Okay, so there we go. We got a hero stack sandwich. Okay, so you leave the throne room, you take a right. You end up at this intersection here. These phosphorescent mushrooms grow everywhere, providing light for the settlement. She motions north, ? And she says, I don't think that is north. I think the map might be upside down. It is. That's actually south. Okay. So she motions to the south, which is up, and she says,
That is the feast hall. That is where we will eat Garuda someday.
Hey, are you coming
Oh,
with
yeah.
us, Junko?
Everyone smile and nod.
Is she
All
coming
right.
with us to go meet the Thousand Teeth? You want to come with us?
Oh, my duties are far too great. I will not be able to assist you in the battle against him. However, there are people here who are not lizard folk. You could try to subcontract them into assisting you against Thousand Teeth.
Oh no, no. Just know if
I
you were coming.
This is the gym. This is where we work out.
and you can see that they are all beating the shit out of each other. There's practice dummies, there's weapons and stuff. So
It's pretty
Teacher
cool.
just sort of looks at them in amazement, is like, I was lucky to survive that fight.
Yes. Some of us work out more than others, and they get really big. So, yeah. All right.
Seems that should be everyone's goal.
Absolutely. Swole gains. That's what we call it. Out here, this is a hallway. Some stuff down there. This is a gate. Yeah, we open the gate and we go through. Pretty basic shit. All right, there we go. A lot of stuff going on here. A lot of stuff. The prison is actually north of this location. Out there are the merfolk mercenaries. I'll be honest, they're not too impressive. But, you know, sometimes just having somebody to take hits is worth it. Let's see. And we go up here. And we keep going. And we go here. Yes. There we go. The prison.
all right. She arrives at the prison and she says,
This one is here with new mercenaries. They are specialists. That means that they have strange skills that are quite expensive to retain. It also means that they have many eccentricities that we must tolerate. It also means that we are not allowed to eat them.
and you see a deep sigh of regret from the guard staff as she approaches. And to see through is not there. He's back on the ship, you silly goose. All right, there we go. All right, and she basically explains in Draconic that you guys are here to interrogate the prisoner. All right, sound good?
Yep, let's do
All
it.
right. This one right here. She says,
This one will take them to the prisoner. Be warned, the prisoner is crafty. It speak many tongues, all silvered. And he's hideous to behold. If you have just eaten lunch, be warned, you may vomit it forth and be tempted to eat it again.
all right.
Thank you for the warning.
All right, so she leads you down inside, opens up that door, all that jazz.
Follow me.
Oh, yeah, you guys are over here, by the way. And she just went down this way.
Cell are we going to? The first one?
So as you pass the first cell, somebody bangs on it, and they scream out in Draconic,
This one is falsely imprisoned. This one demands freedom. This one is no longer drunk. This one will not try to eat friends. Please, open door.
and she sort of rolls her eyes. And in the common tongue, she says,
This one cannot handle its liquor. Do not engage.
and she leads you down.
We keep the foul beast in the final chamber. Be warned. Well, I've already warned you, but I will warn you again. Here. It is hideous to behold and resilient. Very resilient. We even ate one of its arms. While it was alive, it refused to tell us anything. But you softskins and others
She caresses your feathers, Garuda, in a hungry way.
Are known for your cruelty. I'm sure you'll come up with something even worse than eating someone while they're still alive. The nightmare stories they told me as a child about the softskins haunt me to this day.
All right. She's gonna open up the door to the cell. Chink, 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 and you see the hideous creature on the other side. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very ugly.
Yeah. If any of you need to,
No.
you can make a Constitution saving throw to not vomit up your lunch and be tempted to re-eat your lunch.
I'll go for it.
Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna say, can I make a wisdom saving throw to not switch my sexual identity?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jenna failed her Constitution saving throw. She needs to go change real quick.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Clothes were already damp from swimming underwater, so I don't think it's too bad. All right. The creature opens its eyes. It is badly bruised. It is underfed. It is missing an arm. It has bandages where the arm used to be.
Charm.
Its gills pump furiously and look very dry and sore. It is hanging by the wrists from chains that run through a bar that goes across the the highest parts of the cell. Uppus. Thank you, Dr. Seuss. Its ankles are bound in chains as well, and those are also wound through the floor. So essentially, it's almost like a crucifixion situation going on here. You've got chains that are basically around its neck, around its armpits, its remaining arm. They all kind of like dangle from the ceiling, and then its body is there, and its legs are bound, and then those are chained to the floor. So it's a bad situation. All right. It opens its eyes and it looks at you with hatred in its eyes.
Jenna approaches him. Good day. I'm known as. She's speaking in Aquan, of course.
Okay.
Also, can I do a check to see if I can recognize the race of the creature?
You have met a creature like this. This is a
So it's
sea
a
elf.
sea elf.
Yep, this is a sea
Okay.
elf.
Okay. Yeah, Jenna speaks to him in Aquan. Good day. I'm sorry for your condition. I'm known as Jenna the Generous. Um, may I ask your name?
It narrows its eyes and it says, yes, yes, you may. My name is Malvos Amier. I am wrongly imprisoned. These lizard folk, they seem to think I am a Sahaugan. As you can plainly see, I am not.
Yes, you are a
Nothing.
sea elf. I have one in my employ as well.
Oh, do you? Oh, perhaps a friend who sought me out. I am missing. Please, I've been here a long time. They ate my arm. No matter what I told them, they didn't believe me.
How did they confuse you with the Sahaugen? Were you
They
working with them?
they claim to have found me on the battlefield, but I was a prisoner. You see, they had taken me, the Sahaugen, and planned to use me for something.
Did you tell the lizard folk this?
I told them that and more, everything I could think of. They just kept hurting me. And you see tears begin to go down its face.
Can I insight him?
Yeah,
I was
go for
gonna
it.
say mine's a 12 with my ability for the record. I can't roll less than an 8.
What's that insight? Yeah, Jenna. Oh man. And Afra, you got a 12?
Yeah.
This got to be some kind of mix-up here. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's not a Sahaugen.
I want to start pulling out my weapons and like, okay,
There's a Sahaugen head mounted in her throne room. It doesn't look anything like a Sahaugen.
Didn't we learn at one point that don't the Sahaugen like 1 in every 1,000 end up looking
That's
like
a Sahaugen.
Yeah. We also, I believe, we have heard the name Malvos before.
I mean, maybe.
Perhaps do a check to remember that if you would like. But
No, you're an inquisitive rogue. You remember that shit.
If you speak the truth, then you'll let me cast the spell and we'll speak clearly and get you out of here, okay?
It nods weakly.
I'm gonna need you to speak truthfully to me and treat me as one of your greatest friends. And I'm gonna cast suggestion on him.
Okay.
And the two phrases is to basically speak perfect truth and to treat me as a close friend.
All right. Let's see. Yeah. Okay.
What were you doing with the Sahaugen?
I was doing my job.
And what was your job?
My job was to deceive the surface dwellers with my hideous appearance.
What are the Sahaugen after? Do you work for them?
Of course, I work for them. They are my people.
do you speak common?
be helpful.
I do speak common.
Continue on, Captain Jenna.
Um, what questions
What were
did
we
the...
after?
Yes, what were you after?
We are working towards preparing for a great and wondrous event.
What is the event?
She who hungers in the deep will wake soon. We wish to prepare for her coming.
Who is
There's
she?
a powerful artifact of our people buried beneath these marshes. We think, or at least we thought, that this settlement had access to those ruins, seeing as how it itself is underground. But we are exploring other locations in the area as well. We maintain constant attacks against these lizard folk to keep them busy and stop them from interfering with our scouting efforts. I was awaiting the delivery of a actual sea elf, useful for rituals that needed to be cast to unlock the ruins.
and why do you need a C? What did you need the CL for? What is the
Ah,
ritual?
the blood of the most reviled is needed to unlock uh, the vault of which we seek.
And what is this what you seek? What is this artifact?
Oh, it is a powerful weapon that the Baron seeks.
Who is the Baron?
He kind of narrows his eyes a bit. Um, let's see. Baron Zarlal. Oh, sorry, Zarlar. There we go. Baron Zarlar. Uh, he is a powerful warlord of our people. He seeks an artifact, a weapon of great power. With
And
it,
what
he will lead troops in the decimation of the coastal lands when she who hungers in the deep wakes.
Oh, so your target is not just the lizard folk, it's also the us humankind and those of Saltmarsh and perhaps Waterdeep?
Of course, when she who hungers in the deep wakes, she will have a great hunger from her long sleep. She will
What
need
is
to consume, and she will rise, and with her, the oceans will rise and wash over the coastline. That will provide her plenty of territory to hunt.
and what is the name of this she?
She who hungers in the deep?
Yes, what is her given name, a true name?
She who hungers in the deep?
Very well. Can I do I know of she who hungers in the deep?
It would be it would
you,
be an Arcana check DC 30.
now is our cop friend privy to this conversation as well?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean standing
20?
right there. Okay. Based on the naming convention, she is probably a great old one. Your best guess is some kind of kraken, maybe?
Okay. Interesting. And what does this weapon do that you're looking to acquire?
The legends say that it grants many powers and abilities over water.
That's neat.
So the white one's with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jenna looks at her and she's like, "You can ask him any question. He'll speak honestly." And
Oh.
Did you, did your people send, are your people at the island of the great crocodile? Thousand Teeth.
And he says, more than likely, yes. That was one of the sites of interest that we were exploring.
What were the others?
Are your people planning another attack against our settlement? Perhaps tomorrow with the storm.
Absolutely. We love using the storm to our advantage.
I see. Is this matter involving the team at Thousand Teeth Island time sensitive?
And he says, isn't everything?
He's pretty good.
Oh, Bryn, you're back. Bryn, they are interrogating a Malenti. A Malenti is a Sahaugan who, through some mysterious curse of their bloodline or magic, no one's 100% sure, 1 in every 1,000 Sahaugan, instead of being born handsome and beautiful like this, they are born hideously deformed like this. They look exactly like sea elves. They are trained from birth to be covert spies, double agents, sleeper agents, all that jazz, for the Sahaugan people. A long time ago, they were just eaten in a horrible sacrifice. But eventually they realized, you know what would be better than eating babies? Having badass spies. So they eventually switched over to that. But it's probably a good day for the Malenti when they decided to do that. Bryn, they also mentioned she who hungers in the deep. You can certainly attempt a religion, arcana, or knowledge check with advantage, your choice, to see if you are familiar with this entity. It's a dealer's choice, whichever you want to use. Religion, I think, yeah, okay. Yeah, same thing that Jenna got. Based on what the naming convention and the location, you were thinking it is a great old one, and it is probably a kraken, if you had to guess.
I don't think we can hear you. I'm not sure if you're talking. I can't hear him.
May not be in a position to talk if he had a very busy day and his kids are running around.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
There's that.
All right. So yeah, that's second opinion.
Future car has
You're,
Wi-Fi. That's dope.
you're, you're dealing with a great old one, and of course, I know those feels. God, I know those feels. I eventually had to throw a water bottle at my wife to get her out of here. So,
Oh, you did throw it.
anyways, it was empty. Jeez. Mostly. So, those of you in the party, do you think your character would understand the term "Great Old One," or do you think Jenna slash Bryn would have to explain that a little bit more? Or is it Bryn or is it Brine? Brine actually makes more sense because like Brine is in the ocean. I've been calling you Bryn, but there's not two N's. Is it Brine? And Brian also sounds like you could have been named Brian, but this is like the Triton equivalent of Brian.
Yeah, I like Brian.
I kind of like that. Yeah. Okay. Brian sounds good. All right. So,
And it is.
yeah. Do you guys need to know what a great old one is then?
Is it
Feel like
something I
after
could kill?
Wait, what?
Is it something I could kill?
Maybe.
Not with, not right now.
Is it something I get paid to kill?
Great old ones are usually primordial beings, which is to say, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years old, that have attained a godlike level of power.
So that's a no.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
Canon might make a difference.
first of
something.
all, through Paylor's rice, all things are possible. Is what a religious person might tell you. But yeah, no, not at this level. You'd probably get wiped in like one round. So
Crash, was that Blood Titan we killed considered? Would he
yeah,
be considered a great old one?
yeah, that would be a great old one.
Yep, that's good.
All right, so
If anyone has any suggestions or questions for him while we got him.
Juko is kind of wringing her claws together nervously, and but she doesn't say anything because this guy knows many languages apparently. So
I would like to ask if it is a full sea elf worth of blood or just like a little bit.
Just a nibble.
he says, I'm unsure of the quantity. Part of my duties was to acquire as many sea elf prisoners as possible in case a tremendous amount was needed. They were spread across the many teams that we have working in the region.
Quick question: is this conversation is this mostly in the Mer
Oh,
folks?
he switched to common per your guys' request.
Yeah.
So Pietro wants to ask, how did you and Captain Sigma cross paths?
Captain Sigma. Yes. I actually did not deal with her directly. I was working through her brother. He is a Yuan-Ti operating out of the swamps that border the division of Dunwater and Saltmarsh.
Strange.
Well, he's dead now.
Oh, well, that is unfortunate to hear.
And is
He's
he?
a useful ally.
Is there, if you hired was Captain Sigma's?
Well, we hired anyone in the region who was willing to bring us sea elves.
I understand that, but Captain Sigma also struck a deal with these people.
Yes, she was playing both sides for the money.
I mean, that's what a pirate does.
Well, my concern at this point is were the guns spiked? Problem with them.
I would have no idea about what sort of dealings Captain Sigma would get up to outside of the dealings that I made with her.
If you were in my position and you were asking you questions, what would you ask you? What you would want to know, my dear friend?
Seeing as how I'm under the compulsion of magic, I would definitely try to use it to its utmost ability. I suppose a good question to ask me would be, is my life worth anything?
Is it?
It is not. I am physically impaired with the loss of my arm. It will make me harder to do my job, as it will be a distinctive feature. And I have been compromised by the enemy. More than likely, if returned to my people, I will be eaten.
And that actually seems fair. Like we could do.
I'm pretty sure that's your fate regardless.
Well, okay, that's
Well,
fair.
could we get something out of him if we offered him a quick death?
Like what?
I don't know.
He's already speaking truthfully.
Well, maybe he can, tell us of something he's stashed away. He's a spy. He could have a bolt hole or something. It'd be up to you for us to give you a quick death.
What would it be worth to me to receive a quick death?
We're going to get eaten alive by either your people or these gator folks. We could just end it now.
He does speak primordial, and Aquan, and Common, and Elven. He just says, my life is forfeit. It doesn't matter. A long death or a short one, it means nothing to me.
I have a question. When going to the ruins, what's the best way to avoid your people?
By not going. But if you do intend to go, I suppose greater invisibility would work.
There's not like a camp of your guys that you like set up on one side of the ruins. You guys are like just all around and gotcha.
Do I look like I'm at the camp?
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. Are we done?
No, we're not done yet. What is it your people fear most?
She who hungers in the deep.
Seems to be a popular answer today.
What weaknesses have you
Wait, mate.
observed
That one.
What weaknesses have I observed of who?
of your people?
My people are bad at making friends.
Is that something they'd ever be amenable to?
No, that's why it's their weakness.
Well, weaknesses are exploitable.
It is not hard to exploit. My people are hated by all above and below the waves. We have no allies. Brian, you 100% can confirm that. There is a race of vampire stingrays that hate the Sahaugen. That's how hated they are.
Has a question in the chat. Brian has a question in the chat.
Oh, sorry. Let's see. In Primordial, I asked the whereabouts of a large force of Sahaugen that was recently around the city of Saloon, basically. Yeah, he says if there was an attack against the city of Zaloon, it was likely to test the response time of your patrols and guardsmen, and nothing more. There is no interest in the city of Zaloon or the pathetic portal that it guards.
This is all in primordial. That response was in primordial.
Likely he'll answer in the same language that was asked, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jenna's so comprehend languages.
Mm-hmm. And then, kind of noticing the Triton, he smiles a bit. You guys can attempt a perception check if you'd like when he smiles. You do not have to make one, though. Afra, you notice, and Brian, you notice that behind his beautiful elven teeth, you see the glint of shark-like teeth, a second and third row of teeth. Pietro, you notice that as well. And as he kind of smiles at Brian, he says, why? Did some of your people run into trouble? I sincerely and truthfully hope they did.
This is asshole.
I sincerely and truthfully hope that every last Triton, that had the foolishness to engage a Sahaugen in battle was torn apart, tooth and fang, and devoured slowly. Your people don't belong in this world and should never have come here.
And a mean asshole at that.
Well, my dear friend, through magical compulsion, is there anything else you need from me?
Jenna looks at the white one. She's like, do you have anything else you wish to ask of him?
This one is greatly unsettled by the prisoner.
Question.
Is the knowledge we've gained here enough to appease your princess?
Yes, and more than likely, she will demand that you take her contract immediately.
I got a couple questions, if I could.
Mm-hmm.
Asking the spy, how large are the forces that would be on the island? Would the forces be at the camp? You know, what is the typical exploratory force that would be sent out?
Sahaugen like to operate in large numbers, schools, as it were. So probably 20 or more individuals sent to each site, each with a priestess, several smashers, maybe one or more specialists, a leader.
What are the magical capabilities of your people? Do you have wizards?
My people disdain arcane magic. If it is not granted by our god Sekala, then we do not need it.
What are smashers? I'm not familiar with these smashers.
Extremely muscular Sahaugen who specialize in great weapons.
Do your priestesses use divine magic?
Yes, divine magic is not the same as arcane magic.
That is not. That is why I asked.
And these specialists, what do they do?
They are skilled in the disarming of traps, the reading of runes, the disabling of devices.
Do your people favor ranged weapons?
My people are expert tacticians. They train in all manner of weapons to engage at all ranges.
See whoever sneezed.
Like,
That answers my questions about the fighting capability. Do we need to keep this one alive, or can I kill him now?
I'd prefer to let the lizard folk eat him.
Okay. They would enjoy that, I
They can
think.
still eat him if he's dead, right?
I don't see why they couldn't.
I'm just saying, do we have anything else? I don't fear we'll have another opportunity like this soon.
That's true. Well, we know
He
what.
looks at Brian and says, Triton, you would be okay with this? Letting me live?
No, I was planning on killing you as soon as they were done talking to you.
Mm. Killing a bound opponent cannot defend themselves? That doesn't seem like a Triton thing to do.
I would say I'm no more Triton at heart anymore than you are a Sahuagin at heart.
Oh, those words actually hit him kind of hard. Malenti definitely deal with some cultural identity issues. And you kind of see it play plainly on its face when you say that.
I guess, would he want to fight to the death? Or can I just kill him? Would anyone object?
I mean, he's already been captured. Just be
True.
done with it.
And on Brian's arm and says, "My friend, do not give this bastard an opportunity to get in a good blow. He could take out an eye, just as easy as you could cut off his other arm, but still, a scorned animal."
If you feel that this one has nothing else of use, we know something useful that can be done with it.
Is he eating him?
What is that?
Dinner.
Yep, it's
Indeed.
eating him.
Sure.
If it appeases you, deep sea dweller, you may be the one to execute the prey.
Cool. Motion him.
Does anyone? Yeah, is that okay?
All right. Yeah, he's got 1 HP. He's bound. It would just be cinematic at that point.
Yeah, just strangle him and be done with it.
Oh, jump off.
Mm,
There are ways.
I know there are ways, but
All right. So Brian, how would you take him out? What's your execution move?
Honestly, I don't even know if I would let him know that I wouldn't want to get his dirty blood on my sword, so I'd kill him with a spell.
Okay. All
Like,
right. Well, wait. What spell? It's kind of important. If you toll the dead, you're going to ruin all that meat.
I'll probably just Eldritch Blast him then.
Okay.
Give a little flavor. I'm not gonna
All
toll
right.
the dead.
Yeah. I think Eldritch
Right.
Blast. Eldritch Blast would blow him in half. The pieces just kind of hanging from the chains, and the smell of death kind of coming out of the room.
Pietro takes out his hand crossbow and offers it to to Brian. Do you want to just shoot him in the head?
All right, that works. I'll take him up on that.
All right. So you just kind of put it to the forehead, executioner style. Got it. All right. So, Malvos Amir is just is executed. A lot of information has been gleaned. What is your next step? You probably fill the princess in on that stuff.
Yeah, tell her everything we learned.
All right.
And then very subtly suggest that we are happy to immediately go take care of her Sahaugen issue. But there is the small matter of payment for the weapons.
Oh, right.
Get that out of the way.
She says,
She who walked between two worlds had what she described as a crew. Do you not trust your crew to handle your business while you handle business of a much more high profile nature? Surely you can't burden yourselves with the busy work of escorting a payload.
Oh,
No, the crew can handle it, but it is I that pay the crew, not you.
But I am paying you and you are paying the crew. So, in a way, I am paying your crew through a series of trickle down payments.
That is how it works, yes.
So, what you speak is a falsehood. I do pay your crew in this instance.
I mean, partially, yes.
Ah,
Can
okay.
someone explain power dynamics to this princess, please?
that's not like
I'm
Dan.
All right. She says,
based on the information you have gathered from the prisoner, who is now dinner, we have many preparations to make. I will send my best, and they will be assisted by some of our mercenaries to assist you, or sorry, your crew, with the unloading of the weapons. She who walked between two worlds also promised that there would be, as she described it, a quick tutorial on the functionality of these weapons. She described them as so simple that even a dwarf could do it.
I
oh
wish
man.
I'd seen it.
I believe a dwarf is one of those badger men. They are furry and dig through the earth.
Yes, that's true.
And taste a bit like badger.
That I would not know.
Excellent. So, while this is happening, uh, and they are preparing for an attack against us, an attack that we know is coming, you will covertly, like a small team of trained specialists, make your way to the Isle of Thousand Teeth. There, you will discover what has happened to their exploratory team and get results. Truly, I wish I had known there was a powerful artifact weapon in the ruins. I was sort of just bluffing about you keeping all the stuff because I didn't think there'd be anything good in there, but now I have regrets that I don't get to keep it. But it is probably something foul and corrupt that will eat away at your very being, mind, and soul. So, in the end, probably still a win. But knowing that there's a great artifact there, I feel less inclined to increase my payment to you, since you'll get to keep the artifact if it, in fact, is in those ruins.
Yes. How much did she give us for the information?
she felt the information was definitely worth 350 GP worth of gems.
Okay.
That's total. So the 100 for going to talk to him, and then she paid 250 more for all them juicy nugs you managed to dig out of the guy.
Let's just add that real quick.
All right.
And since we're doing maintenance, Pietro would have retrieved the bolt that was fired into the spy's
Fair
head.
enough. Fair enough.
This one asks if you require a guide to the island or if you're able to find your way on your own.
A guide would be best.
Preferably Janku.
Oh, she's not going to come with us.
I cannot, in good conscience, send any of my people on a mission that might injure or harm our spirit guardian. But you may take this one with you.
Pretty boy.
He seems great.
He is skilled at tracking above and below the waves, and can use a trident.
Very well.
Perhaps we may hire him afterwards. What is his name?
He looks at you guys and he says, in Chondathan, they call me Boris.
Welcome to the team, Boris.
Look at him. I am not food.
He looks at you and he says, obviously, you would need to be killed, plucked, and cooked before you are food. Do you think I am some kind of savage?
We will need to bring one of our crew with us.
Oh,
Well.
Bryn, those are coalinth. They are aquatic hobgoblins. Basically, lawful evil aquatic mercenaries. Like their whole culture is mercenaries, basically.
It's a reference you're not going to get.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah, we're also gonna bring the sea elf with us.
Oh, you're gonna bring Oceanus. Okay. All right. So
Yeah, because we might have to sacrifice him to get this powerful artifact.
damn.
That's fucking
Hey,
dirty.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm not saying we're committed to sacrificing.
All right.
I'm just saying we may need to prick his
Yeah, a
finger.
little situation.
or-
He just put a little blood on whatever it is, just like cut his hand.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like next week you will be traveling to the island of Thousand Teeth to investigate what has happened. Time is certainly of the essence. It is about, I would say, after the interrogations, talking to the princess, all that. It's about 3:00 in the afternoon. It is supposed to be real bad storm tomorrow, so you're gonna want to handle your biz as quickly as possible, lest you get caught out in the marshes during a very bad storm.
Then our range weapons are ineffective.
Yeah, so just stuff to keep in mind. So, all right. Any other questions before we adjourn for the week? Knowing that you have quite a bit of money lined up for this. I think in the end, she would agree, based on the difficulty of Thousand Teeth. She agreed to pay you the 500 if he's defeated, 1,000 if you can somehow resolve the problem without killing him. But she is willing to pay you 100 gold for each of your people who dies, as sort of
Bringing the whole
compensation. All right, now keep in mind, you are in hostile waters, so the less people who you leave on the ship, the less people are there to defend it against the inevitable attack against your NPCs by Sahaugen.
Quick question: is there going to be any way we can communicate back to the ship? If some that like maybe Bloody Bjorn can check out the guns to make sure that they're not spiked or something stupid like
Well,
that.
it sounds like Jenna wants to take a several hours detour to go pick up more crew and the sea elf.
Well,
Oceanus.
I don't actually plan on taking the whole crew. I just want the sea elf, but
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know how you guys feel about it. But if we get to the store and it's like we need sea elf blood, it's gonna be real sad if we didn't bring him.
Yeah. Do we want to bring Willie as well, or do we want to leave Willie on board?
No, he can stay on board. He won't be in the
Help. Yeah, that's probably how I want the ship to keep Leo back.
I'm pretty sure if we bring Willie, 1,000 Tooth is gonna be real full.
Yeah, real full of Willie's teeth because he's gonna whoop his ass. Willie
like that.
humble brags, 22 HP. Not a beastmaster ranger companion. Can't be brought back from the dead. Yeah, humble brag. He's good.
Can't be brought back from the dead.
Well, beastmaster companion, you just kind of like resummon them basically. But Willie's just a regular dude. He's just a regular dude. So
We'll point out Willie was quite helpful with getting the ship, but I don't know if he's going to be helpful in facing off against a giant gator.
No, I don't think so. So
Okay.
we will.
Okay. But you do have until next week to make your final decisions about what you bring and who you bring. on this potentially deadly mission for the princess of the Saureal Lizardfolk.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So if you have any questions during the week, definitely hit me up with them. I'm sure there'll be a question like about XP or something.
Yeah.
You know.
With the role playing we've been doing, have we gotten any closer to level 5, or are we still not there yet?
Let's see. That's 3 sessions worth of role playing. Golly,
Mhm.
it's a lot of role playing, guys. Ugh. What happened to
What
all
are
the
you
combat?
looking?
Let's see. Uh, 16, 17, or 15, 16, 17. I'll have to calculate it out. Look for that in the level up thread.
Right.
Alrighty. Anything
Sounds
else,
good.
guys?
Not right now. We're gonna have to hustle to resolve Thousand Tooth. Otherwise, we're gonna get caught in rain. That's not good.
Yeah, true. Okay.
Supposed to start. I know we've
Tomorrow.
got, well,